Hi folks, and welcome back to another Travels of Red Rover. I'm Shawn.
And I'm Corinne.
And where are we today, Corinne?
Today we are visiting Palouse Falls, and we are in Washington State.
This is a falls that we've shot on a number of occasions and often had very good luck here in the past, and I hope I just didn't jinx us today.
Well, we always get lots of unusual weather when we come to Palouse Falls, and often it starts out pretty cloudy, but we sometimes get some luck. So today is also cloudy, so we're going to keep our fingers crossed that we get some luck with the clearing skies.
And we're going to take you along for the adventure.
The Palouse Waterfalls are the official Washington State waterfalls. And it's interesting that it was a small town near here that a group of elementary students got together and wrote a bill to be presented at the state capitol to designate it as the official state waterfall. And from the time that they wrote their bill, which was late November, December 2013, it was just about 6 months until their dream became a reality. And it's great to see that kids getting involved in civics that way. A short walk from the taller falls is a short set of upper falls. They're more like a spread out Niagara Falls without the height. There's a short trail from the parking area that will bring you to these upper set of falls. They're not nearly as tall, but you still get a wonderful sense of how much water is flowing over these.
Corinne and I are standing on the trail going down to the upper falls, and you heard me right, we're standing on the trail that goes down to the upper falls. It's a very narrow, very steep trail, and it takes a bit of effort to get down there, but the falls at the bottom are absolutely gorgeous. One of the things you may have noticed is that I use hiking poles. This is primarily to give me more balance in situations like this where we're coming down a very steep and scrambly type of a trail. It gives me more stability. It also allows me to keep my body more upright as I'm coming down the hill. It also makes sure that I keep my weight over my feet instead of either behind me or in front of me. They're especially useful for coming down Mountain Scree. This is very slippery rocks, and it allows me to sort of test the rocks in front of me and prevent me from falling. So Corinne and I have come down to the upper falls. They're absolutely beautiful, tiny, but just absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to try to put together a photograph that actually incorporates this whole area of the falls. I'm thinking I'll probably have to do a bit of a panorama in order to get them all in. Corinne and I have switched spots. She's now over there and working on these falls right here. And I have come over to work on these falls right here. So as usual, we're using a polarizer to make the blacks a little bit deeper black and also take some of the sheen off the water. However, I like a little bit of sheen on the top here So I've backed the polarizer off a little bit to take some shots that have a little bit of sheen on the top. So one of the challenges to getting out here is walking on these rocks. They're cut in uneven chunks, and there are little ponds all throughout the area that you have to sort of get around, which has actually proven to be quite a challenge for getting out here and doing some photography. Well, we finished our photographic session on the North Falls, and Corinne, what did you think?
Oh, it was good, but the sun came out and made it hard to get a good exposure.
Yeah, that was really, really difficult. And now we have to go up. Sounds like fun. And this is the marmot family. They occupy most of the park. Over the last few years, their numbers have increased substantially. And as you can see, they're not really very afraid of me being there and photographing them. So this is one of the two locations that we often use to shoot Palouse Falls. We like it because it gives you a sense of the entire falls, and you get the pool below. You get the rock fence along the side, and then if it happens to be a beautiful night, you can catch some clouds up above that may add some color, and occasionally those clouds will reflect down onto the waterfall.
So I'm using TPE, the photographer's ephemeris, to check where the angle of the sun will be when it sets. And I can tell by the current location of the sun relative to my position that the sun will set just a little bit behind Shawn, over to my left somewhat. And so we are currently facing east. And so the sun will maybe light up some of these clouds. It depends on the horizon back behind us. We're a couple hours before sunset, and this is not a great time to take this photo, because if you look over at the falls, the top of the falls are in bright sunshine, and the lower falls are starting to develop into the shadows, particularly the lower pool. So as we get really close to sunset, more of the falls will be in the shadow created by the sun going behind a hill.
Well, Corinne and I have come out to do our sunset shot. Right now it's just coming into golden hour. One of the shots we like here at Palouse Falls is when the sun sets just enough to be completely off the falls, and enough so that the little pinnacle structure, or we call it the fort structure, is still lit. So we came up to get that shot, and we're just waiting for that to happen. Typically the way I do that shot is continue to have the polarizer on, and then I take a two-stop filter, and I just put the two-stop filter down so that the fortress is a little bit darker, and it allows me to take the shot at about 0.8 of a second, which is kind of my sweet spot for the water looking nice and silky.
Well, we're all set up for our sunset pictures here at Palouse Falls, and the shadows are starting to creep up the deep canyon walls. Waterfall is now completely shaded, although some of the rocks around it are still lit up. We're taking a few exposures and watching how the clouds develop in the background to the north. And we're hoping that maybe we'll get a little sunset color as the sun sets, and the clouds might light up a bit, but we're always optimists in that respect. So we were able to get a little bit of color in the sky. It was mostly some white, blue clouds, but we got a few streaks of pink, so we were hard at work trying to capture that just as the sun was going down in the west. It wasn't as colorful as, you could really hope for, but based on what it could be other times when it's really gloomy, I think we did pretty well. Well, I hope you've enjoyed coming along with us for this episode.
We've had a lovely evening and really enjoyed the shoot tonight. So if you enjoyed the video, we sure hope you'll give us a thumbs up.
And if you would like to see more of our videos, I hope you'll consider hitting that subscribe button.
And as always, if you want to know when we release videos, hit that little notification button.
And we love to hear from you, so if you have any comments or questions, please put it in the comment section below. We'll try and respond as quickly as possible.
And until next week, bye for now.
Bye for now.